All right, stormtroopers and clone troopers. Some have been cloned after the so-called Jango Fett, and the others are men with masks on. And all these kinds of things are lining up with that Stormy Daniels and those Corona and the Dark Sun and that clone trooper, the Lone Star State, the T, the X, the Lone is the Elon. Those types of things. So part 4, 5, and 6. The 45 and the Trump 56 is 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 is also the 47, which is Trump. So let's tie some things together for us, because you're under that new hope. The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi right now in different ways, shapes, and forms, as we're being shown trailers and experiencing these things and all that types of stuff. So I've been tracking this stuff a little bit, so should make sense if you've been following along. Otherwise, it'll just kind of sound like some crazy talk. Okay, so 4, 5, 6 came out first before the clone troopers. Okay? It's important to understand. And then 4, 5, 6 also, it came out first, but it comes out after the 1, 2, 3. Okay? So the Rubik's Cube with the new record, it's just on, you can see it on Daily Mail or whatever, but it says like 0.103 seconds or whatever. And it's just like boom, boom. You've been the Great Reset, Total Reset Trump, boom, boom. The tablecloth that he's gathering for Saudi Arabia, new table setting. Okay? Everything's the same, but saying it's different foundation. And then that's when you start eating and getting nuts or whatever, because you don't want to ruin the tablecloth. Food fight, all that kind of shit coming out, and then you clean up or whatever. They're gonna it's kind of like that Airbnb party going on. There's multiple layers on different things as mom's coming home now. There's going to be like the other mom coming home in a way, and so so these prequel shows, the Willy Wonka, that prequel, all these things are kind of showing us that Rubik's Cube, to where it's boom, boom, and then they show you how it was done. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're like, no way, that just took place then, or whatever kind of thing. Okay? So, there's no way that what they show, slow motion, is what they show on that click of a blink, or what it's like faster than a blink or whatever. But either way, that also ties into I think this just hit me, but it ties into that PA event, that whatever, because there could be this is where you can get a robot kind of thing worked in, and we've seen glitches in the past of truther shows posting these things where, like, Nancy Pelosi, I think, was one of them, but they get like or they just like, or like Elon Musk, like whatever the shit he's doing or whatever. So I'd assume that there's somebody in a robot, or the CGI, AI, and all those things are going to work in some type of robot or those types of things. But That little sequence and all that, whatever, could be all done through perfectly timed robotics or whatever, like if it's a real thing per se. And it is a real thing because it's all Hollywood. All right, that's why they worked in Ronald Reagan, who's Hollywood, and then they worked in Trump, who's Hollywood, but he's also business. He's all these things. He just came in from nowhere. He's the dawn of America, the dawn of time. So he's right here before you, and he's marked y'all in one way, shape, or form. And the Christ session has already happened, and he has everything wrapped up with Saudi Arabia that we're being shown with this Junebo jet or whatever. And then the Islamic New Year is on June 26th and 27th this year, as we're in like their table setting days for the tablecloth that he's gathering up. Okay, so man, so the movies, they're here to tell us one thing, and then we see also that Terminator little robot, that liquid robot thing going through the bars and whatever. So that's the start of one thing, and this is where they tell a vision. These things are working to tell us things that's years ahead of us, and to where we're in that time frame and those X marks to where we can look back and actually see this, that, or the other, and how it was shown, and learn some stuff on how the spirit works, and take that and be able to look ahead and understand. And we can do this through the motion. This is why we need the artist, and the art just comes through creation. We need creation being done because it tells a story of one to another and different things, and those who understand can see the dark sentencing that it tells you about in the Bible or whatever. And this comes not to everybody, because not everybody has access to all the 12 lights or the 7 chakras and all these things, because they try and keep you below here. If anything, they try and keep you here, the solar plexus. Inhale, exhale those things. You got to rise up above and get into the heaven and all those things, the pineal gland, the single eye. But they want to keep you, the solar plexus, the begotten sons down here. And they keep you separated at the rib cage and whatever else is going on there. But this ties into all those, and that ties into the 7 days of the week, and where the Lord God, the begotten Son, God rested. All that's above even the light. Okay, so y'all aren't even close to having access to the light. And then they scare you of the light with this. That's the Illuminati or whatever. But you're all using the Illuminati dollar that you worship. Okay, and either way, that ideal worship for the money worship and whatever. So since we have this window into heaven and we have all these things that's going together and whatever, this is when man is coming into a different type of consciousness, a different type of world and all these things. And we're going to take this and here or whatever, and we're going to take it and spread it out again in a different way. So, and it's kind of already been done. And the 80% or whatever the population is, they've had their blood changed, and now they're testing if you're human or not, or different ways, or like they're showing it in different ways lining up, as far as like the eyes and the Sam Altman, who's born in the millennium, is part of the millennial reigns. And these lights, these kings are coming in that to change what is to come and is not and whatever else. So as everybody's been altered, that blood type, We can see these blood types, or like, where did they come from? We're like seeing where all these things came from. And we're living through the evolution of man, actually, as far as being taken from one to another, back to a low, to a higher, to where there might be some type of like hunter-gatherer, cannibalistic monkey man that comes out of this shit or whatever kind of thing, that has to be literally caged up. It's where like the consciousness is going. It's where the brotherhood and all those things, where you have the dark sun and the light sun, or the twin brothers, or those types of things that we're told about, or like a twin. You have the tree, right? The Siamese twin, or the conjoined twins, where one may die, but you got to save one or whatever. This is where you got to cut off that infected branch or whatever, that old lab rat, those things, the 60% here or there or whatever. This is that works in like this 80-20 80 rule down to the 60-40, all those kinds of things, because you have 60% of the nation obese. So the people who are obese and took the experience for the lines and shit, that's where a collapse and things can kind of happen, and that cleansing can go down to where the old temple is taken out, because the body is the temple, and that's where the light's been taken out, and it's just a matter of time for all these things peter out. And peter out is that church and all those little stacks on things. Okay, so we'll end it here.